Turn this down just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So for the first batch of articles, we're going to talk about Crimson Desert, the latest major release in the video game community, a game that a lot of people was putting their hopes, dreams, and admirations into. Some people were saying this game was going to be Zelda for grown men, Breath of the Wild for grown men. Some people were saying this could quite possibly be the greatest game of all time. And then the reviews came out. Now, that being said, to be fair, the reviews are here, and we're going to start off positive. We're going to start off talking positive about Crimson Desert, and then this conversation is probably going to get progressively negative. To be fair, currently, the Metacritic is sitting at a 78 overall average from critics and a 78 overall from people who played the game. And this is a lot of data. This is over 1,000 reviews. Very interesting, because when these reviews first came out, people who put all their hopes and dreams into this game, for some reason, were calling people who reviewed it and said it was just an okay game, saying they were game journalists and they were trash. Granted, the reviews came out, I think, like 2 days before the game came out. People were like, oh, mind you, these people had not even played the fucking game. They said, you're trash. You don't know what you're talking about. All my hopes and dreams. I prayed, I asked, I prayed to Zeus, Kratos, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, and everybody else in between, that this game was going to come down and save me from the Reapers. Did all that hooting and hollering just to end up because y'all can't even see it, my fault. Did all that hooting and hollering and the fans agree with the reviewers? So which one is it? I have a lot to say about Crimson Desert. This conversation is going to be all over the place. And this game is a great example of why, if you're interested in something, just try it and form your own opinion. Because we've gotten to the point where people are pushing agendas so hard that now you niggas don't make any fucking sense to me, man. You called the reviews trash. They're game journalists. They don't know how to play games, which I think unfairly they get judged. Ever since IGN came out with 7 out of 10, Too Much Water, and the Cuphead incident, that's 2 incidents. Niggas have lost their mind about game journalists. And I've been made this argument on stream that they do fuck up. But that being said, I still trust them more than YouTubers. Yeah, I said it. YouTubers have way more incentive to lie than they do and push agendas, because YouTubers are not held to the same standard as journalists. They don't have to have the same level of integrity. So they constantly push agendas, and because you're in favor of that agenda, you can't see it. So let's start off with the reviews. We're gonna start off positive. Just for clarification, this game is sitting at a 78 overall. Player and critics agree. It's a decent game. It's just not the best, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you was on Twitter, you would have thought a 78 out of 100 was the most you ever fucking seen. Y'all set yourselves up for fucking disappointment because you put all your hopes and dreams into shit. You got to stop doing this. The same way, because this is the polar opposite end of the spectrum. The same way people have been shitting on games before they even try them. This is like the opposite end of the spectrum with High Guard. You're setting yourself up for failure instead of just letting it come out and letting it be what it's supposed to be. And the crazy part is, I low-key warned a lot of y'all. I said in my preview for this game, I had like 10 pros and like 10 cons for this game. When I have just as many cons as pros, that usually means it's just an okay game. Just for future reference. I just can't physically say that because you're not allowed to review it. It's just a first impressions. So for me personally, I'm not surprised that the game scored this. I'm not. I think this is actually a fair review. And I seen somebody on Twitter say that this is the most accurately reviewed game of the year so far. I agree with that statement. In my opinion, I hate to do this. But in my opinion, when it comes to Crimson Desert, it is an adjustable 6. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. I can't believe I'm quoting this man. But it is an adjustable 6. When it's bad, it's a 6 at best. When it's good, it's an 8 at best. It can be all over the place. So I'm not surprised that it got a 78. As you can see, and you could, first of all, if you ever follow these Twitter pages, this in itself is an agenda. If you ever follow these Twitter pages, usually they'll reference like 5 or 6 websites. This nigga referenced 100 websites for critic reviews to make it look better than what it actually is. Because if you only look at this top half right here, it looks like it's doing amazing. When it's just okay. Do you think Pragmata will do better than Crimson Desert? That's a tough one. I'm leaning towards yes. I personally feel like Pragmata will be one of my favorite games of the year if it sticks its landing, but I don't know how people will respond to the puzzle mechanic. But I'm leaning towards yes. I don't want to give a definitive. I am leaning towards yes, based off of what I played. But this nigga posted IGN. What is this? IGN Benelux? IGN Brazil, Arena's Jug Ones, but why though? What are these fucking websites? The Outer Heaven, True Gaming, Radio Time, IGN France. This is cope. I want y'all to understand what I'm trying to say is this is cope. If you follow any of these gaming pages on Twitter, when they post review aggregations, they post the most known websites. They'll go IGN, GameSpot, Dual Shockers, Kotaku, Polygon, all the reputable ones. These are just random blogs and shit. They had to spruce up the numbers a little bit because they couldn't believe every review. That being said, I will say I don't think this is a bad game, and I stand on what I said in the preview. I just don't think it's for everybody. I think it's an adjustable 6. It's somewhere between a 6 and an 8, depending on what you're fucking playing that day. The reputable people seem more around a 7, and I think that's fair. 7.5. Okay, now that we got my personal opinion out of the way, as well as we talked about the reviews, let's talk about the funny, more positive shit, because one more positive thing, and then we're gonna get to the funny shit, because I want to talk about gaming discourse. Crimson Desert tweeted out, "We are incredibly humbled to share that Crimson Desert has sold 2 million copies worldwide. Thank you so much to the fans and the community." So despite the reviews, people didn't care. They still went out and bought it. And at the end of the day, rising tides raise all ships. It's good for the industry. It means people are more than likely not going to lose their jobs. So it sold well regardless of the review. So kudos to them. That being said, let's get into the negatives. Despite it selling 2 million copies, the less than stellar reviews led to Pearl Abyss, the developer, shares plunging by almost 30%. Pearl Abyss shares plunge in early trading on May 19th as investors dumped the stock following the disappointing preview reviews of its new game, Crimson Desert. As of 11:27 a.m., Pearl Abyss was trading at 46,000 won, down 19,000 from the previous session. According to the global game review aggregator Metacritic, Crimson Desert received a 78 out of 100 as of 7 a.m. Monday. Some outlets, including Forbes and MMORPG, praised the game's technical polish and content scale. However, Game Informer, GameSpot, and Eurogamer gave the scores between 60 and a 70. I will say, because this is from yesterday, and they've already reported that they sold 2 million copies, I think the stock will be okay. I think this was a panic sale, because keep in mind, the reviews came out a couple days before the game actually started selling. So then I guess the investors were worried that nobody was going to buy it because it got a 7 out of 10, which I don't understand. That being said, I think it'll be okay, but this is fucking crazy, a 30% dip. It's subjective. I love the game, but to each its own. Nah, I don't think Crimson Desert's subjective. There are objectively bad things about the game, and there are objectively good things. When you hit a certain threshold, it's subjective, but there is objectively bad things about Crimson Desert. Matter of fact, I have an article about one. Right here. Crimson Desert devs say, because one of the main things people are complaining about says it takes time to get used to the game's notoriously clunky controls. Now, I said this in my preview. Go and look at that tweet. People were saying, oh, skill issue. What's he talking about? Clunky controls. Guys, I've been gaming for over 30 years. Matter of fact, not only have I been gaming over 30 years, on this stream, y'all make fun of me. Rarely ever do I read the tutorial playing a game. And in my defense, one of the reasons why I don't really pay attention to tutorials in games is because usually within an hour, I pick up the game because I've played so many fucking games. I usually can master the controls without ever looking at a tutorial. People love to make fun of that part, but they don't ever want to praise me how quickly I pick up these games. Yeah, I said it. Guys, when I previewed this game, I was paying attention to the tutorials and them controls were still fucking clunky. It was not a skill issue. Everybody's been complaining. The controls are just weird for no fucking reason. It's like, why did you guys do this? It doesn't make any sense to me. But advises players to think of it as like riding a bike is coming naturally after you learn. Pull this up, please. Hold up. We're going to get to all of it. One of the more common complaints you'll likely hear about Crimson Desert are to do with the controls, which some folks just don't care for. Folks like, for instance, PC gamers Rory Norris, who called the game's control scheme baffling convoluted. Exactly, it's just difficult for no reason. This is an objectively wrong thing with the game. You should never have overly complicated controls. It just doesn't make it sucks the fun out of a game. Or Morgan, who said the game's true boss battle is wrangling its controls. Or Molly Taylor, our reviewer, who said you should use a controller instead of keyboard because it sucks less, but warned that you're probably going to end up accidentally punching your horse in the head a whole bunch of times anyway. You'll find much of the same on Reddit, although with the editorial constraint, which means you're I don't know how to fucking pronounce that shit. Succinct analysis like the absolute dog shit, and whoever made these controls needs to be fired. Yeah, it's rough out here. One person who thinks the controls are just fine though is Will Powers, PR and marketing director for Crimson Desert's developer Pearl Abyss. Crimson Desert's baffling convoluted controls are already frustrating players. That's basic fucking video game functionality. Do yourself a favor in Crimson Desert and play the game with a controller. So he said, think of it like riding a bike. It comes naturally after you learn it, Powers wrote on Twitter in response to a user who said the game needs simpler controls. It just takes a minute. I don't know, man. I got love for you, Will, but I don't know if I agree with this statement, man. I remember when I learned when my dad taught me how to ride a bike, it literally took like 5 or 10 minutes. Riding a bike is pretty intuitive unless you just have absolutely horrible balance. You will not get these controls in 5 or 10 minutes. In a follow-up, he clarified that he agrees about the controls, but was just saying that it takes time to learn, but it comes naturally after you do. Just pedal. Yeah, that's how I learned how to ride a bike. He pushed me and said, just pedal. And I damn near fell, and I said, wait a minute, I'm okay. Yo, shout out to Pass with the subs. Riding a bike, I'd argue, is pretty intuitive. You would expect Powers to defend Crimson Desert's controls. He works on the game after all, but he's not entirely alone out there. Dinga Bakaba, what the fuck, the co-director at Arcane, didn't mention Crimson Desert by name, but said he likes learning new control schemes, calling it a rewarding mental gymnastic. Yeah, well, when people get off for their 9 to 5, breaking their backs on roofs, dealing with people in retail yelling in their face all day, the last thing they want to do is a Rubik's Cube on the fucking controller, guys. Makes you pay attention to the game differently too, he wrote. I remember discovering Demon Souls and having to develop new coordination for it. I hope this doesn't disappear in the profit of the standardization. Crimson Desert is undeniably a hit, selling more than 2 million copies. They're just yapping about the numbers. So, you know, Will said, figure it out. Fucking figure it out. And I'm sure you'll figure it out, but this perfectly segues me into my next joint. We have a lot to talk about Crimson Desert. We have a lot to talk about. This perfectly segues into my next joint. Just some food for thought. I covered this on last stream, but I'm gonna bring it up again. He was talking about you just need to use the controls over and over and over, right? Well, Jake Baldino from Game Ranks tweeted out, Crimson Desert starts rough. I honestly disliked it for the first 8 hours, but after that, it opens up. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen some people say 10 hours. The reason I want to bring this tweet up is this is a great example of what I mean when people want something to succeed versus when they want it to fail. Crimson Desert is the polar opposite of Highguard in this situation. Because if this was a Ubisoft or an EA game, and some of your favorite creators came out and said it takes 8 hours before you have fun, you would all look at him like they're crazy. But because you want to like Crimson Desert, oh, it's okay. We take a look at High Guard. A lot of y'all didn't play more than 10 or 15 minutes, didn't even make it out the tutorial, and you left a review. But you'll give a game 8 hours that you don't fucking like just because you wanted to like it. The gaming community is cooked. It's cooked. It's fucking cooked. I'm sorry. I'm not playing no game for 8 hours that I don't like just so in the 9th or the 10th, hopefully it gets good. I'm returning it after the 2. Same thing with Marathon. He said, W take. I just think it's a little hypocritical. I feel like this is cope. I feel like and I'm not saying he's wrong because you're saying in the chat he's got a point. It probably does get better at. I don't think he's lying. I don't want anybody saying that I think he's lying, but I do feel like it's cope. I don't feel like every game would get this level of grace. Gaming community. Interesting. What else we got? Oh, this is the biggest cope. This one caused a huge fire on the timeline. Mr. Luke Stevens tweeted out, I predicted after the preview that this is one that the game journalists will loathe. There is zero hand holding, and even at the preview event, I witnessed several journalists from big outlets getting stuck in the tutorial puzzle for 45 plus minutes. Now, I was at the event. I saw him. I'm gonna be honest, I never saw him move out of his chair. So I don't know if that's true or not. He might be telling the truth. I never saw this dude move out of his chair. He was on that damn game. So if he did see somebody struggling, it might have been briefly because he was very to himself in the corner. I saw him. So I got to call cap a little bit on that. Maybe I missed something. That being said, let's act like he's telling the truth for a second. I've been told y'all, bruh. This I hate journalist shit doesn't make any sense to me because y'all swear journalists suck at fucking games, but then you agreed with them in the review. The player and the reviewer score is a 78 out of 100. So are the journalists stupid? If you think gaming journalists are the worst gamers on earth and they're all fucking idiots, that makes you an idiot because the score is the same. And you know what's crazy? I've seen some videos bringing this up and I think I have them saved. They love to hate on gaming journalists when it fits their agenda. But then in other times they don't do it. Like when IGN gave Elden Ring a 10 out of 10, that game's difficult. Then, oh, now they're credible. When they gave Sekiro a 9.5, then they're credible. When they gave Demon Souls an 8.8, now they're credible. Which one is it? Are gaming journalists ass or not? To me, this is very pick-me behavior. Just say you disagree with people, but don't be like, oh, all gaming journalists are ass, especially when you're trying to be a gaming journalist. Didn't you just put on a gaming show like a couple months ago where you showed a bunch of bullshit ass games and then you guys circle jerked each other for like 3 hours and nobody wanted to hear that shit? Was that not you trying to be a gaming journalist? Which side of the aisle? What we talking about, chat? What we talking about? Ain't this the same guy that got caught plagiarizing shit, stealing people's game reviews? You talking about everybody else's opinions and you steal opinions as well. I just don't get it. It gives me pick me behavior. Now, if you would have said, I disagree with these reviews, I love these games, I would have never brought this shit up. But this shit is fraudulent behavior to me. It screams pick me. It's the anti-establishment gamer trope. But the thing is, you are the establishment. You just did a show where, by the way, all them interviews you guys did were fucking terrible. You were trying to be a goddamn gaming journalist, asking terrible questions. All them bitches was terrible. You said, pick me. This screams gaming pick me. This shit the fuck out of here, bruh. You said, damn, I didn't know that. Look it up. He's a plagiarist. You guys, here's a video that I can't believe. Yo, and I can't stress enough, Crimson Desert's not a bad game, but the cope for this game is so bad. I never thought in my life I would defend DSP. The Crimson Desert community is coping so hard with the average reviews that they're now making up narratives. This video came across my For You page yesterday and I couldn't believe the caption. Gaming journalist rage quits Crimson Desert because the first optional boss wasn't yellow. Guys, DSP is not a gaming journalist. He's just a YouTuber who plays games. He doesn't review. He doesn't preview anything. He's not covering. Luke Stevens is more of a gaming journalist than this dude. He's not a journalist. He's just a guy who's really bad at video games. I can't believe I'm defending this guy. But these niggas are making up. They're calling everybody who's bad at the game a journalist to push some type of agenda to make the game look better. What are we talking about? What are we talking? Let me know. Am I wrong? Chat, am I wrong? Is he a journalist? Did I miss something? What website he worked for? Does anybody know? Journalist mode. This shit the fuck out of here, bro. Why are people so hung up on this game? Because they wanted it to win. That's why I said Crimson Desert is the anti-High Guard. The same way they wanted High Guard to fail with all their heart, they wanted this game to win with all their heart. And because it's getting 7s out of 10s, they're now making delusional fucking storylines up instead of just playing the fucking game and enjoying it for what it is. Here's another one. This shout out to 8-Bit. I seen this on the timeline. So he's responding to this tweet where they said, if you stop playing Crimson Desert when you got to this point in the game, I understand. Save you the headache and watch a guide on puzzles. I couldn't be bothered. Here I am for the violence and the amazing world to explore. This game is literally a Zelda for adults. Then he replies, gamers, journalists are so ass at games, they're just mad that it doesn't hold your hand. Also gamers. He's basically admitting that he didn't know how to do the puzzle. You see what I'm talking about? You can't make fun of journalists for being trash at games and y'all on the internet talking about y'all trash too. It has mixed reviews on Steam, by the way. I'm having fun with it. I can care less about review. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. The only thing I'm really covering for those who are just coming in, I think the game's okay. I don't think it's a game of the year contender, but it's okay. What I'm covering is the hypocrisy in the gaming community right now. The discourse around this game, this week's podcast is gonna be fucking funny, bro. What do you think of people saying this game would have got 10s if it had Zelda in it? I disagree. Nah, it wouldn't. I seen somebody say this is Ocarina of Time for bro, you mad Marathon flopped? What does Marathon have to do with anything? What are you talking about? Was that supposed to make me mad? You typed that twice too. No, actually 3 times. I don't understand. What did, can you explain yourself? I'm not mad. Like, what does that have to do with anything? I'm actually perplexed right now. Can anybody explain that one to me before I ban him? you said like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I don't work for Bungie. L Rage mate. Like, that shit was so awful. It actually confused. Like, are you okay? Are you okay, nigga? When does 7 out of 10 equal trash? I don't get it. The internet, unfortunately, the way the internet works now is if it doesn't get a 10 or a 9, they call it trash. And I don't understand that shit, bro. I don't understand that shit. Yo, YouTube chat, y'all not beating them allegations, man. That was y'all people right there, bro. TBH is so fucking negative. What are you talking about? Bro, you mad Marathon flopped, LOL. Oh, I appreciate the donation. There you go. I was looking for your name. I'm not mad about Marathon. I don't care. I don't care about Marathon. We're gonna get you out of here, though. Skirt. But you see what I'm talking about when I say the cope? They wanted this game to be 10 out of 10. Game of the year. And because people are laughing that it's not game of the year, now it's, oh, now the new narrative. Chat, we got a new narrative. The new narrative is because Crimson Desert isn't getting the reviews they thought it should get, it means you're just mad that Marathon flopped. What a brilliant deduction. What a brilliant deduction. This shit is fucking funny, man. Oh yeah, so here we got a video of this dude calling out fucking Luke Stevens, the shit I was talking about with the pick me behavior, the gamer pick me shit. Bro, where these motherfuckers coming from? The algorithm, bro. That shit's fucking funny.
Talk at all about hand-holding in games when he couldn't even be bothered to write his own scripts and instead had to resort to plagiarism. I find it crazy that he can criticize the opinions of others when he can't even hold true to his own opinions so long as it means getting more clicks. Finally, I think it's absurd how much he just lies in his reviews. For example, in his review of Horizon Forbidden West, he said this.
the game taking roughly 10 hours to open the world such that you can leave the starting area from the end of the first game.
He goes back to this point over and over again in his review that you spend way too much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I remember Forbidden West. It took like 30 minutes to get out of the tutorial area. What does he mean 10 hours? Shout out to Akira Games with the $5 super chat. He said the grifters are at it again, saying the woke tanked the Crimson Desert reviews. See, look at that level of cope. How can, what do you mean the woke? There's not even like a story in Crimson Desert. There's nothing to even accuse it of being like, I can't wrap my brain around this. One is actually making my head hurt. I don't get it.
Time in the map of the previous game, even though that whole section is a 30-minute tutorial. None of it is 10 hours. So either he spent 10 hours in a 30-minute tutorial or he's just straight up lying for views. He also suggested this brand new feature that could fix the Horizon games by adding the ability to buy.
Do you think there's some bias in these YouTubers' reviews since they got the game for free? It's hard to speak. It's hard to speak on that because like I don't know these people on an individual level. I get games free from time to time, and I can honestly say it doesn't affect my opinion on the game. And I'd imagine there's other people out there. If you are out here selling your soul for a game code, that's fucking crazy. That being said, I wouldn't completely rule it out. There might be some people out there that are just super excited. I can't speak on that. That's why I said at bare minimum, I wouldn't even cared what he said if he would have just been like, oh, I disagree with these people are saying. I think the game is a 10 out of 10. Just say that. But like when you go and say, oh, you can't trust these gaming journalists. I saw somebody struggle for 45 minutes. So you stood over somebody's shoulder and watched them play the game for 45 minutes and couldn't figure the puzzle out. I want you guys to, I was at the event. I didn't see that. I saw that nigga sitting in the corner, not talking to nobody. So I don't know where the 45 minutes was that he was standing over somebody's shoulder, watching them struggle over the puzzle, which by the way, you know, another reason I got called cap on this story, at the preview event, I only got to play the game for 2 hours because the computers, the electricity in the building was fucked up. So not everybody was able to get 6 hours on the game. So knowing that your time was super limited due to the electricity in the building fucked up, you were just standing over somebody struggling for 45 minutes on a puzzle. I don't believe that. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe it. You could have been networking, getting a sandwich. I don't believe that shit.
Instead of having to craft it yourself, even though that is already a feature in both Horizon games. How can he accuse reviewers of not engaging with games in depth when he is not willing to engage with this game in enough depth to figure that out? And this is before we get into the whole alt-right grifting stuff. Luke Stevens has no grounds to stand.
It's fraudulent behavior. Fraudulent behavior. What else we got? This one was funny too. This tweet that came across my timeline. It's gotten so bad. If you don't give Crimson Desert a 10 out of 10, niggas is getting death threats. ACG tweeted out, my first DM legit cracked me up about Crimson Desert. Here we go. You piece of shit, you fuck. I know the game is good. I won't subscribe unless you die. So he dropped his review before the game actually came out. Remember, people hadn't had any time on the game at all. So because this is what I mean when I said they wanted this game to be a 10 out of 10. Crimson Desert is the anti-high guard. They needed this game to be a 10 out of 10. They hadn't played it yet. And when he dropped his review and gave it a score less than 10, that man sent a DM and said, I hope you die. Yeah, ACG's legit. I watch his reviews. He's a good sport about it. These people are fucking crazy. Is Black Myth all over again? This is worse than Black Myth. I will say that Crimson Desert might end up being this year's Black Myth, Spider-Man 2 type shit, but worse. These people are fucking crazy, bro. We got JG right here. Absolutely hilarious, the hypocrisy when it comes to review scores and Metacritic. When it's a game you're ready to shit on versus a game you've been anticipating. Exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. Right now, the narrative surrounding Crimson Desert is game journalists are bad. Only for the next day the game to come out and people be like, you know what? Oh, that pick, yeah. only for a day later for people to come out and be like, I kind of agree with the reviews, man. Oh shit. What else we got? Oh, more bad news. If you're trying to play Crimson Desert on the Steam Deck, ladies and gentlemen, the frame rate is a little. We got footage. This shit look like a fucking Sega Game Gear. He said, is that RuneScape? Oh shit.
What's so
So don't, if you I said a game gear. If you got a Steam Deck, don't try to run it, bro. Don't try to run it. It is not Steam Deck verified, ladies and gentlemen. They said they get between 15 to 25 frames on very low settings, by the way. Very low. Oh my Lord. This video came across my For You page. I think he's on the PS5 version. He ran into a glitch where the whole world is just black and white silhouettes.
Hell nah. Wait for a sale. Excuse me? Oh no. Hey. Oh, that shit got my body hurting. Hey, look, man, we don't fake our reactions. We keep that shit real. What is this?
Skill
I didn't
issue.
see that. It won't like that in the goddamn previews. Oh man.
With the color in the back, the black one.
Because I'm sick right now, bro. But what is this?
Does it say anything about the time they had on the review of the game? I think IGN said they had like 110 hours on the review, and people in the comments were like, "You don't know what you're doing." Like, them niggas paid 100 hours. Like, what do you mean? Like, the fuck? This game's controls are so convoluted. A video came across my For You page. They making whole Tekken cheat sheets to learn how to do the moves. Look at this shit, bruh. Here you go. Take a screenshot. Master the skills. Matter of fact, let me drop the link in the chat for you. If anybody want the Tekken cheat sheet, I got you, bro. I got you. There you go. The Tekken cheat sheet. I'm dropping it in the chat. What else I got? Oh, and then this came out just a couple hours ago, ladies and gentlemen. The second plane hit the tower. No. A Redditor has discovered an AI generated artwork in Crimson Desert. There are other posts that also claim to have found AI generated images throughout the game. It's not even a good image. It's just pure slop. Just look at the horse legs. So they find it. Yeah, look at this shit, bro. What the fuck is this? It's all just like bled together. That's clearly AI. So people are upset because the game is clearly using AI generated slop, which says to me that maybe they kind of bit off more than they can chew. They crafted a world that was too large and they felt like they just had to put something in the world. And what happens? You end up leaning on tools that produce slop really easily. I don't know, man. And that's not the worst part. Now, the story's still developing on this one. I don't have any evidence, so maybe next stream I'll find some more. But this one's going viral too, from this person saying, I'm playing Crimson Desert so far, and I can tell AI was used far more than just background art. Now, when we get some definitive evidence, we're going to find out and see if people keep that same energy they had for Expedition 33, the game with a placeholder. This game actually got it in it. Then we got this one. Said, I'm refunding Crimson Desert. The game is fun, but I want to put my money where my mouth is. I do not support generative AI, and I also hate the controls. Posted a screenshot saying, I can't play this shit, bruh. This shit got AI. It gets worse. This came across the timeline too. I thought I was crazy at first, but isn't the composition here for Crimson Desert just blatantly similar to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Oh, shit. The anti-AI stance is goofy? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's about taking people's jobs. We just lost 100,000 jobs in February alone. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but as of this morning, I think we hit 5.2% inflation in the United States, meaning more jobs are going to be laid off. The value of a dollar is increasingly going down. So when you say like this AI stance is stupid, no, it's not. You just don't know how the economy works, which says to me, why do you want people to lose their jobs for some bullshit that looks ugly? Yep, unemployment's 5% by the end of the month too. I think this was Dark Misogyny that tweeted me this. He did the refund as well. They sending me the refunds. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then this is what This is what what's the name sent me. Homeless. Gas reaching $5 a gallon. Nigga, it's been $5. It's like $6 over here in Cali. I'm not anti-AI, but be transparent about it. I agree with that. I feel like any game that uses it, you should have to label it so people are aware of it. Because there's people that don't support that shit. Because also keep in mind, it's polluting the air. It's using the drinking water. It's taking people's jobs. There's a reason people don't like that shit. There's a legitimate reason. God thank on Ongbo. Ongbo's the master level player of action games. Not a journalist. One of the best players on YouTube. The controls don't feel very intuitive. They're so clunky and awkward. Honestly, the controls are really inconvenient. So far, I'm noticing more downsides than upsides. I don't know who this is. Is he, for context, Ongball is that guy. He's nice at action games. I don't know who this is, homeless, but I did see Let Me Solo Her. He was saying he said that the boss fights were overtuned. Let me see. Let Me Solo Her. Crimson Desert. I should have saved that video. He was criticizing the shit too. I know he's nice at games. Bro, I'm going back to Stellar Blade. Damn, I should have saved that video. If I find it again, I'll let y'all know. AI can't take your job. The boss that chooses AI over you is responsible. I already know what you are, nigga. Fucking guns don't kill people. People with the guns kill people. Please be quiet for the rest of the night. Please. Yeah. Oh boy. So the AI replaced you. A little Russell ass comment. We need good guys with guns in the building. That's what we need. Please be quiet, bro. Please.